Hey there bosses, you're welcome to my channel once again. In today's video, I'm actually going to be taking you behind the scenes on how I use time blocking to plan my week so that I have a productive week. Because listen, we all have lots of things to do, and if we're going to get on top of it, for me, I've learned that planning is key. And especially this year, I am really delving deep into using Google Calendar, which is a tool right here, to plan my week. The nice thing about Google Calendar is that you can color code your events. Google Calendar also syncs with your phone, your tablet. So if you have the app on your computer, you can just go ahead and use that, but everything else will sync on your phone or any other device where you use Google Calendar, which I think is wonderful. Another thing with Google Calendar is that I can look at this on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly, even yearly basis. Sometimes it makes no sense to look at it yearly. Like, this makes no sense to me whatsoever. But if I look at it on a monthly basis, it does, because I kind of get a feel for where everything is laid out, and then I can look at it in more detail if I look at it on a weekly basis. What you're looking at here is a plan I've made for the week of January 20, 2020. And so I'm going to basically plan the following week, which would be the week of January 27th right here. So we're just going to click like that and go to the following week. Now there are certain events that I already have recurring, and so as you'll see, the days that I do YouTube content or YouTube live or podcast release, those are already on this calendar. All right. I also have an event here that I had actually booked way back, I think in December. I'm going to be on a podcast, and I have the podcast interview on this particular day. So that's already there. But I'm going to go ahead and create the other events in here that I need to be taking care of. And you'll notice that most of the things that I'm going to put here have to do with my business as a freelancer or work. I am teaching 2 community college classes this spring, and so I put that also on here. So that's there. But I'm going to go ahead and plan this week right here. So right here on January 27th, that's when classes start at the college that I'm teaching at. And so I'm just going to, and all those events are in blue. So classes start on January 27th. So I just wanted to make sure I put that there. There is an online course I need to take. So I'm just going to highlight this from 9 to 12. And then I'm going to be taking that course. And because that is also related to the college, I'm going to go ahead. You just need to right click that to get that, and then you can change the color. So I color code everything so that when I look at my calendar, it is obvious as to what is going on. So as I'm doing this, I'm also actually looking at my paper planner. I have a paper planner, and on the paper planner, this is where I'm putting, all my thoughts, all my ideas, for both my business, work, and then like personal life. So that's also important, right? Our personal lives are important. So I don't think you should leave that out, but you won't see me put them on this calendar just because they're personal. But everything that is here. So now the next thing is that I know that I do teach between 11 and 1:15 or 1:45 as a matter of fact. So we can go ahead and change that. And, a lot of people, I think I mentioned this earlier, but if I didn't, a lot of people call this time blocking, basically putting time blocks on your calendar and doing tasks within that specific time period. And, on my other calendar, I had writing content on there, and creating some social media content for my clients. I have to put that on there because I do have a tight schedule this time around. And so putting that on there will remind me to actually jump into that activity, focus on that activity, get it done, and then move on. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, this particular class actually repeats on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that there. A really nice thing you should know about Google Calendar is that you can put in locations, and all you need to do is just click on the events like so, go to edit, and you can add a specific location. And so if there are addresses or anything, you can go and put that there. If you're going to be doing like a conference call with people, you could use Hangouts. I tend to not use Hangouts. If you're going to be calling people, let's say with like Zoom or something, you could go ahead and let's do this. We could go ahead and actually put it in this section right here below. You can just scroll down like that and put that there below. And so really, like, there's so much that goes on with Google Calendar that I think is so useful. And one of the things, I use an iPhone, and so whenever I put in a location, it actually pulls up the map in Google Maps, and you can just click on it and it's going to go straight into the GPS mode and take you there. So I mean, it's really cool. All right, so I have those classes highlighted now. I actually do have another class on Wednesdays, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and create this, and I'll come back to show you what I've done. All right, so mostly I'm done with the week of January 27th as far as business and work goes. It doesn't look like so many events, but there's so many things that happen within each of these time blocks, which I haven't broken down, but essentially this is how my week is going to look like. Now, as I was doing this, I realized there were a few key things that if you're going to use Google Calendar, you should know about. All right, so for instance, right here, this huge block is here because I know this day I'll be doing a whole bunch of freelance work. So you could basically go ahead and click on that and edit the event. And one of the things you can really do with Google Calendar is you can go right here where it says repeat and choose that this repeats every day on Friday, or it repeats as a custom event. And so essentially what you can do is, let's say you want to do this, repeat this every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, every month. You could definitely do that. Okay, if you wanted to end on a particular date, you could do that, and then you could just click done. Or if you wanted it to be ended after a certain number of occurrences, you could do that, and then you could click done and then click save. So I'm just going to wait it kind of went with the one that but I'm just going to do this weekly on Friday, because I know weekly on Friday, at least until June, this is going to kind of be my schedule. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that, and that is done. But essentially this is how I plan time block. You just have to decide what time you want to be doing things, put that on your calendar, and Google Calendar will send you a reminder. You go ahead, sit down, set your timer, do your work, and this is helping me really be productive this year, and I know it will be useful for you as well. If you found this video useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up below and leave me a comment below and let me know, do you use time blocking? Do you use any other calendar tool? I'd really like to know. Let me know in the comments below.